Resident Evil Requiem just got some big news, and Capcom has once again addressed those Leon Kennedy rumors and leaks that seemingly never go away. And the way that Capcom has been handling this entire thing has a lot of people raising eyebrows, and for good reason. Now recently, the producer Masato Kumazawa actually spoke about this whole conversation. He did a big interview where he went into some details about the game and gave his thoughts on things, but he was also asked about Leon Kennedy, and let's just say he tried to shut down certain details. But I think the answers that he gave actually raised more questions than gave us answers. Now, with the Game Awards approaching, as well as the Resident Evil showcase happening next year, Capcom is entering the big marketing push. So we're going to talk about when we can expect to see the next trailer. Will we get something at the Game Awards? We have a lot to cover, so check the chapters for easy viewing, and let's dive in. All right, so let's just jump straight into the interview with Masato Kumazawa. This is actually from Stevivor, I believe that's the pronunciation. Well, this interview actually covered quite a few topics. They spoke about the recent leaks, the horror direction, and the future of the series. Now, we'll talk about a lot of what this interview spoke about, but first I want to get into the Leon situation that they mentioned. So Stevivor actually asked him straight up about the rumors that Leon Kennedy might be returning, especially after that, eye patch photo started to leak online. To which Masato had this to say: apart from any official information that Capcom has released, the rest is detective work. He said, please don't take everything at face value, but then he mentioned that there has been a photo lately of Leon with an eye patch. These are all fake news, which that's a fair take. When I saw the photo of Leon with an eye patch, I was like, this is not real. It's clearly not real, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't report on it on the channel. So yeah, not only did he call the Leon Kennedy image with the eye patch fake, but he also mentioned that the supposed DLC costume of somebody editing the Sony website, he said that that was also fake. So here's the thing you have to consider: the producer never said that Leon Kennedy is not in the game. He said that that's up to the players and their detective work, but he never once said that Leon is not in the game. And I think that's the part that people really need to pay attention to. He shot down the image, he shot down the DLC leak, but he didn't shut down the character, and that's the part that is raising eyebrows. Obviously, Kumazawa is in an impossible situation. He's doing an interview and they're asking the question, is Leon in the game? And he really has only a few answers. One is, yes, he is in the game, and that potentially spoils the surprise. Two, he's not in the game, which is an easy cop out. And then three, no comment. So in no circumstance will he say yes, mainly because he's a game developer and he's signed contracts to not say anything. Unless the marketing team gives him the thumbs up, he's really in an impossible situation. So he can't say yes because he's not allowed, and he can't say no because that might disappoint some people. And if he says no comment, that's going to raise some eyebrows as well. But he happened to find another option, and that's just to say, unless it's officially from Capcom, it's not real, which is classic misdirection. So props to Masato Kumazawa for expertly answering that question. The interviewer then continued on asking the question, I understand that Grace was chosen as the protagonist for her vulnerability, and did the team draw inspiration for her from the likes of Claire Redfield or Rebecca Chambers, or is she different or a unique in personality? To which the producer said, because this is a new game, we were trying to get new types of horror. We thought that because Grace, being a little bit more scared than the other characters, would be able to give a new type of scare and experience when compared to other characters like Claire or Rebecca. It then followed up the question with, Resident Evil 7 made the bold choice to go in first-person mode, and while Resident Evil Village retained that, it also later provided an option to play in third person. Can you take me through Capcom's decision to first switch to first person and then later allow for the choice of that or third person? To which Masato responded, so what happened is that when we released the third person perspective in RE Village, we had lots of feedback. We had a lot more feedback than we expected from the players. And what we thought is, for Requiem, I thought to myself, well, I want to let players choose which one they prefer. And that was it, so they can enjoy the game in their own way, the way they like. One of the most important pieces of feedback we got from RE7 was that the game was a little bit too scary, so I thought, in order to lessen the experience, we added the option for having a third-person perspective to sort of ease the horror. The next question that they brought up is, how important is knowledge of Outbreak in this game? To which he responded, well, I want to say not at all, because we want to make sure that players who didn't play Outbreak and players who have played Outbreak will both be able to enjoy this as much as they can. And the reason that we chose Alyssa was because she was a victim of the Raccoon City incident. She had a clear aim, a clear motive, and she was just very easy to introduce in this scenario. Next up, they said, returning to Raccoon City is huge for longtime fans. I consider Raccoon City as much of a character as Leon or Claire. How did your team approach this reunion? To which he said, it's a lot of pressure to revisit a location from 20 years ago. For most of us, we wanted to know what actually happened to Raccoon City as well, so it's an honor to be making and creating this story of this city. The final question that Stevivor.com actually asked was, RE7's beginning hour demo was a game changer. And they said, I was amazed that I got to jump in and see what I could expect from the next big release, but in a way that was unique and different than just a slice from the game itself. Can we expect something similar for Requiem? So the producer responded and said, so in terms of demo play, we actually have no plans for the general public at this stage. None at all. We just want to focus on finishing the game. Our development team is just doing its best to make sure that it's creating the best quality game, to make sure that it's a fine product. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate news. As much as I was hoping to see a demo for this game, it sounds like it might not happen. However, we still have some time until launch. Like, the game releases in February. They could be prepping something, or this could be another case of the producer misdirecting to like not spoil any surprises. But I will leave that up to you guys to interpret. Do you guys think we're going to get a demo? Yay, nay? Let me know down below. So next up, another major topic for Resident Evil Requiem that surfaced earlier was regarding the performance concerns, especially after Monster Hunter Wilds struggled with PC performance earlier this year. Well, according to a new PC Gamer article that basically states that Monster Hunter Wilds was thrown under the bus and Resident Evil Requiem won't run as badly on PC. Now, Capcom addressed this situation directly in their recent financial Q&A. When asked if Requiem might face the same problems that Monster Hunter Wilds faced, Capcom stated that the two games are built very differently. They explained that Requiem uses a different system architecture, different gameplay structure, and different internal requirements, and they stated that they do not expect the same risks to show up in this new title. They did, however, promise that Requiem is being developed to run smoothly across a wide range of PC setups. The way that Capcom worded their response was pretty interesting. They didn't pretend that Monster Hunter Wilds performed fine, which for some people is a breath of fresh air because they're like, hey, this game is pretty bad performance-wise, right? They recognized the issues by comparison and made it clear that Requiem is being handled with more caution, which hopefully means that this thing is going to be an optimized port, but I think it will. I do think it's nice for them to just like come out and say that, hey guys, we know we messed up before, but Requiem is different this time. Please guys, trust us, promise. It's going to be different, I swear. But I think the fact that Capcom is being transparent here kind of shows you that this is important for them to launch Requiem in a strong state, and I have no doubt in my mind that they will stick the landing whenever it comes to the game's performance. Capcom has been pretty good, but again, their RE engine is getting pretty dated, so if Dragon's Dogma 2 can run relatively okay, despite, a lot of the performance issues, and Monster Hunter Wilds can also run, then I'm sure that a Resident Evil game is going to be perfectly fine. Now, where does this all leave us? Well, all of this really connects perfectly with the momentum going into the Game Awards, with the Leon rumors kicking up once again, with the producer commenting on them, and outside of the initial announcement and some of the demo footage that we've seen, we really only know the basics of this game. We know that it returns to Raccoon City, we know that the horror is stronger, and we know that we have a new protagonist and, other returning characters, but we actually haven't seen enough to fully picture the world. So a new trailer at the Game Awards, in my opinion, is a natural next step. Like, I think it's gonna happen. They were nominated for a Game of the Year award for most anticipated game that they will most likely lose because of GTA 6. But guys, this would be the biggest missed opportunity for Capcom. Like, this is the biggest event of the year. It's right before their game comes out. We have the Capcom Showcase. It's happening, next year in early, I believe it's January. So giving us a small teaser or, maybe a Leon reveal to then immediately follow that up with a full gameplay breakdown during the Capcom's Resident Evil Showcase writes itself. Like, hey, Capcom, if you need a marketing guy, let me know. I've got past experience. And because of how awesome this opportunity is for the Game Awards, I don't think they're going to skip it. I will literally bet money that we will get a new trailer at the Game Awards. Will we get a Leon reveal? Who knows? But will we get a trailer? I think it's pretty safe to assume that we will. But that's going to wrap it up with this video, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe with your noties on. And until next time, this has been Wes, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.